In this lesson, we'll go ahead and finish out our spline cage. So there's just a few pieces left before we start connecting some of these areas up. I want to draw in this shape at the back. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Create, Line, and I want to create 3 of these, so connecting the 3 different splines that we have here. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to start here, and I'll just draw this out. Kind of follow along with this shape, and just maybe do 1, 2, 3, and then pull that in, and then I can modify those vertices. And we also need to move it over in line with that spline. Okay. So let's go ahead and duplicate this over a couple times. So hold down Shift, pull that over once, make a copy. I can make 2 copies if I want, or I can just do that again. Okay. Now I'm going to pull these in line from the top view. So we've got this outer one here, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this in line with what I think should be this one. So we've got this one, and it curves around to here. Okay, so I'll go ahead and take that line right there, and I'll just pull it out right in here, and I'll just rotate that just a little bit. Alright, we can go to our perspective and check that out. So what we want to do is just kind of snap these to the end. So I'm going to take one of these vertices, and I'm going to go to the Snaps toggle, and I want to snap to Vertex. So that's good. I'll go ahead and turn that on. And now when I drag this over, I can just pop that right onto there, and then I'll just drag that right out there to that vertex. And I think we want actually this one right here. So just snap that on there. All right. And then we want to do the same thing with these guys. So we're leaving the same resolution here, but we'll just need to modify them a little bit. I'll turn off the snaps and move it over. And this one will be kind of right in here. Okay, and then we can go ahead and snap those together. So take the vertex, you can hit S to activate your snapping. Go ahead and snap that. And then we'll take this line, snap it right down there. All right, and then we just have this one, which should already be lined up because we made it, on the origin. It should already be good to go. So I'll just go ahead and snap this into place. All right. And now when you create these, you probably want to go ahead and make them part of the same editable spline. But we're going to be doing some cross-sectioning things and some techniques that will require us to have separated. So I'm going to go ahead and leave these separated for now. Okay. Now I also want to duplicate this guy right up here. So if I go ahead and turn off the snapping, take a look at this, and if we go to the side view, we can look at this. This is actually defining the interior of that vent, and we need to have another one defining this outer portion here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this spline, okay, and we'll go to Scale, hold down Shift, and let's just scale this up. You can also do an outline for this. If I go to the perspective here now, I'm going to go ahead and pull this out a little and take this spline and pull it in just a little bit. So you've got more of an indentation there. All right. And now looking at this, I can see that I want this to flow across here. I actually want it to flow all the way down here. So I'm going to go ahead and take these vertices here, this one, and this one. And let's go ahead and move them down. Okay, and we'll just start shaping this a little bit. So I want this to flow in this direction. So I can sort of modify that until we get the right positioning. Okay. And then I want to add a point right in here. So I'm going to go ahead and take that segment, and I could just connect that. I'm going to go ahead and just divide it. Find the divide here. And I'll just divide that to 1. So that gives us this 1. And then I'll take that segment, and let's go ahead and just delete that. So then you end up with this sort of shell that follows around that vent, but we've got it prepared to kind of connect in with the rest of this piece, and it's still all one spline here. And you can see what that looks like here. All right. Then the next thing that we want to do is go ahead and draw out this piece right in here. And we want it to come back into kind of this flat area right here. So there's kind of a line here where this extends back in and then this flattens out right in here. So let's go ahead and draw that out real quickly. And so I'll just go in with a line, and just from this line right here, pretty close to this area, I'm going to go ahead and just draw this out. And I'll just kind of quickly draw it out and then bring it back in here. Go ahead and end that. Okay, we can now add that to our original line here by going to Attach. So we'll go up here and Attach. Go ahead and attach this line. And now we can match up these vertices. So I can kind of move this over. Okay, and thinking that we're going to be connecting these later on, you just want them kind of in a similar position here. Okay. And we can add more later if we need to, that's okay. But I'm just trying to get that sort of that shape in there. And this is going to be flat because we're not moving it in 3D, right? We're not kind of shaping it the way that we did this other part. So we know this will be kind of nice and flat. So we're just shaping it from the side view here. All right. Okay, and that you can go ahead and add on to that other line there. The original, the line that we drew out there. It's attached to this because it's going to be on the same sort of plane. All right, so we've got our cage. Let's go ahead and move this over, obviously. So we'll take that spline, and we need to move it over in line with this spline here. So you end up with something like that. Okay? So once we've got this cage worked out, next we're going to actually start connecting this, because there's a way to add a surface to this. Right now it's just lines, but we need to actually define some of these, the topology basically. We need to actually draw that out. So we'll go ahead and start the process of doing that in the next lesson.